Hi, this is Joe Mullings, and you are on the other side. I've got a special guest today coming to us from Georgia. Charles Pollak is CEO of Red One Medical, and Red One is a medical and pharmaceutical service to Department of VA and the DoD. And Charles is, and I say that because I was corrected once, a Marine, a major, not was a Marine, because once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine. And first of all, let me start off in thanking you for our service to our fine country. And thanks for being here today in such an interesting time.
Joe, it's an honor to be here, and I thank you and thank all the listeners for tuning in today, and just humbled to be part of such a wonderful group. And thank you for having me.
Yeah. And so Red One Medical, as I always mention to my guests, this is never a commercial for an organization. What it is, though, is a focal point on how they are holding up the front line on the medtech life sciences side. So share a little bit about Red One and the things we should know about it, and what are the pain points right now in the crisis we're in the middle of relative to Red One.
Well, thanks, Joe. We're a private sector innovation partner to the VA and DoD, and we're a scout for the VA innovation team and for the VA as a whole to go find innovation to really try to improve healthcare for America's service members and veterans. I started this company after a couple of combat deployments in the Marine Corps and saw some pretty traumatic battlefield trauma injuries on those deployments, and was good news is a lot of people were living through injuries that frankly were proven to be fatal in prior wars. But the bad news is we were loading up a lot of young Americans on the air transports and airlifting them to Germany to launch the military base and then come back stateside. And I would just often think, what's the long-term plan and for these young Americans who've done so much for their country, and how they want to live active, healthy lives, be in the outdoors, have families, and really have to enjoy everything that every American deserves to enjoy, especially after serving. And what we do is try to help them both either staying in the military to get the best treatment that they can to serve their country and remain in the fight if they're in, or do whatever jobs they have in the military, or after they get out is to transition and live healthy lives and get the best healthcare they can, and really help the VA solve some of the unique challenges they face, and partner with private sector, some of the private manufacturers and the small and large manufacturers to bring innovation to the VA and help them get back at the vanguard of healthcare in the U.S. that veterans deserve. And that's what we do. Things have shifted a lot, obviously, the past few weeks, and I'm happy to talk about some of those experiences we've had.
Yeah, and so obviously we've heard about the virus working super hard against those who are already physically compromised. And certainly the population that is in the VA right now, our soldiers who serve so well, are a part of that population, and a large percentage of that population. What could you share about that?
Well, I think it's very similar to the military. To me, we're all one team and one fight, and working as humanity across the globe is uniting to overcome a hidden enemy. And it's scary, and the way we'll do it is by everyone doing their part and working together to overcome it. And I think it's a unique combination of the entire world's economy, and healthcare is obviously the leading point of some of those challenges. And I think everyone listening, and yourself and myself, we're all part of it. We have to work together and team together to help solve this. And veterans and military service members have some very unique challenges. Obviously, they're going to be helping to solve some of these problems on the National Guard in this country, and they need to find out how to continue training and continue serving, and do so without being in big groups. And there's not a lot of easy answers to this. And I found that I've been very fortunate to be a part of a task force that was created by the State Department. We were just brought into it yesterday as a subcontractor, and I'm learning about that literally this morning as we go, and trying to insert my company's capabilities to help them source medical products that they need on a rolling basis all day long, and get them to embassies around the world and State Department locations to get them where they need, what they need and where they need it. And it's going to be a challenging environment for everyone who wants to work together to make that happen. So I just hope that I can be a valuable part of that, and I hope that people can get healthy and and we can get over this very quickly and back to the lives that we're used to.
With what you can share from that meeting this morning and the touch point yesterday, what are you reaching out doing? What are the soft spots that you're trying to shore up? What can you share with us?
Yeah, well, we're trying to find ways to streamline access for the shortcomings the U.S. government has deemed to be the highest urgency for this country right now on the medical side. So that the U.S. State Department, they have to request all different items for their embassy locations around the world, and in doing so, they release a number of different requests every day, items that they need, and we go and help them reach out to manufacturers and to retailers and just different groups and try to find them those products and expedite delivery of those products anywhere in the world. So
as an operator and a serviceman a man on the front line during some major conflicts, what are your thoughts? And I know you're not speaking on behalf of the military or the State Department. Do you see, with what we're going through right now, the power of the military perhaps being refocused in areas that they're experts in, meaning speed to the front, supply chain, supply lines, the ability to move large amounts of people and things more quickly probably than any other organization in the world?
I do, yeah. I think that agility and speed and flexibility are the hallmarks of the American military. I think it's what makes us the greatest fighting force in the world, and I think that we are absolutely equipped to take those same skill sets and apply them to this, and to hopefully get to a successful result. And I think that, as the private sector, we can do the same thing the military does by working together and being flexible and adapt. So this is an ever-changing environment by the hour and by the minute. We have to continue to be flexible to overcome it. And
how can people reach out to Red One and help those? And I didn't even think about those U.S. citizens overseas in embassies that are in probably let's call it virus hostile zones that may or may not be managing it as well or maybe better than here in the States. What did we not think of for those individuals who are outside the U.S.?
Yeah, appreciate you asking. First of all, they are requesting the highest urgent items. We're trying to fill those for them. And then on top of that, we do have the ability, if there are products and there are solutions that can help overcome any of the challenges presented by this awful virus, I have an obligation to get those products to the people in the federal government to take a look at those. And obviously that applies to other people in the private sector as well. I'm focused on the government, but I would love for people to reach out to me in any way possible through my, on my website or on LinkedIn or anywhere, and tell me what they have and how it can help, and give me the talking points on it, and give me the opportunity to share with people, and we'll see if we can get it to the people who need it. And I would be honored to do so.
And our government is catalyzed to do this. I mean, they're going to take a lot of heat and it's easy from the sidelines to take a lot of heat to be moving fast enough and certainly in the right areas. And this is a very complex scenario we're in right now with people, places, things, and influences. We're going to do a lot more wrong than we're going to do right. As a leader in the Marines and as a leader as a businessman, what would you share with our audience as to insight, patience, and action?
Yeah, I think that patience is a big thing, and teamwork is a big thing. I feel like my goal in life is to surround myself with people who are much more talented and smarter than myself, and I think I've been very fortunate to be surrounded by some pretty talented people in the military and afterwards, and this allowed me to do things I never thought I've been able to do. And I would hope that as leaders, and I say that humbly because I'm working every day to become a leader, that we can continue to work together and surround ourselves with people and listen, and right now find ways to make things better and adapt and ask questions and learn. And that's what I would like to do and continue to try to striving to do every day. So
Are there any products in particular that you can give guidance to that our government needs, the State Department has shared with you that they need, that would be top of mind that we could specifically share here?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't talk about any agency in particular because every agency is different. But I would say that I've seen just in general a very big need for hospital protective gear and items, whether it's masks or gloves or obvious things like that. But also, my company's worked for the past 2 years to really try to address hospital-acquired infections and just infection prevention items and things that could help solve pathogens beyond just putting a mask on your face or wearing gloves, which obviously is very important. But people want unique solutions for things right now, and to be creative with that. And I don't have those answers for everything, and I'm sure a lot of people listening do. And if people do, that would be very helpful, I think, to bring to decision makers on both, I'm sure, the private sector and the government.
Yeah, and Red One would be a gateway for that for them. To your right there in the room they're in, what are those pictures of? Can you swing the laptop over? What is that?
Yeah, so I have a kind of far over there, but yeah, we do a lot. We donated a good bit of our profits back to some veteran nonprofit organizations. So I know some light on it, but we had some veterans climbing out in Colorado with Paradox Sports, which is a great organization, and they sent some injured veterans up for outdoor climbing therapy, and it was fantastic. And just getting them outside and doing great things and working as a team, and spending time at a campfire or spending time climbing a rock and being challenging yourself and overcoming obstacles and getting confidence is unbelievable. And as an injured veteran, myself, I just humbled that I can continue to surround myself with such amazing people like that. And I have just some pictures in my office just to kind of keep me grounded of how fortunate I am and the people that we're trying to serve every day and why they deserve the absolute best healthcare in the world, which we can provide them in this country, being such an amazing place.
Yeah.
So appreciate you asking that, Joe.
Yeah. How can our viewers find you in order to help your initiative and getting supplies to our Veterans Administration facilities?
Yeah, so they could go to red1medical.com is my company's website. Also, my LinkedIn page, they could just find Charles Pollak, Pollak, and they could reach out to me personally on there or on my website. And please let me know anything you have that is a unique solution that you think would be applicable for these unique challenges, and I will present them to decision makers in different agencies as I can and aggressively. And I will just be humbled to try to do my little part, like everyone here is, to try to see how we can make the world, by working together, we could become a better place. And thank you for the opportunity to work with you all on that. I'd be honored to, anyone listening. So appreciate it.
Awesome. Charles, listen, I know you've got some work to do. I appreciate your time this morning, and certainly, and we'll be back in touch with you. I do wish you all the best with your initiative.
Thank you, Joe. I'm honored to be here, and I just wish everyone health and a good day, and looking forward to getting over this, moving on with our lives in a productive way. So thank you so much, Joe.
You got it. I'm Joe Mullings, and this has been The Other Side.